Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with that strange, prickly feeling in your fingers? Like your hand has completely fallen asleep, and no matter how much you shake it, it just feels like a dead weight at the end of your wrist. Most people roll over, ignore it, and blame it on lying the wrong way. But what if I told you that this simple, frustrating numbness might be one of the most overlooked warnings your body will ever send you? And the worst part is, most seniors never realize this until it's too late. My name is Dr. Silas Redford, and this is Dr. Silas Redford Wellness. For over 30 years, I have watched patients dismiss this exact symptom. They come into my office rubbing their wrists, laughing it off as a sign of getting older. But deep down, they are scared. They are scared because that numbness doesn't just happen at night anymore. It starts to linger. It makes them drop a coffee cup in the morning. It makes fumbling for keys in the dark feel impossible. If this sounds familiar, I need you to listen very closely, because what we are about to discuss could literally save the function of your hands. Let me tell you about Margaret. She is 72 years old, a retired school teacher, and she loves to garden. For about 6 months, Margaret ignored the tingling in her ring and pinky fingers. She told herself it was just her arthritis acting up. She would wake up, shake her hands violently over the edge of the bed, and go about her day. But then one afternoon, while she was watering her roses, her hand simply gave out. The watering can dropped, soaking her shoes. That was her breaking point. When Margaret finally came to see me, she was terrified she had suffered a mini stroke. But here is the truth that shocked her. It wasn't her brain. It was her elbow. And in a moment, I'll explain why that distinction changes everything. Most people immediately panic and think of a stroke when they lose feeling in their limb. That is a natural, healthy fear. But let me ease your mind for just a second, while also waking you up to the real danger. If you wake up with a completely dead arm that feels like a log, but the feeling comes back within a minute or two once you change position, that is usually a mechanical issue. It's compression. But, and this is a massive but, if the numbness is isolated to specific fingers, if it happens every single night regardless of how you sleep, and if your hands feel clumsy during the day, your body is screaming about a different problem entirely, one that doctors rarely screen for until nerve damage is already permanent. Stay with me here, because this is where the mystery deepens. There are two main culprits for nighttime hand numbness, and confusing them is the biggest mistake seniors make. The first is carpal tunnel syndrome. That burning, tingling sensation usually hits your thumb, index, and middle fingers. It feels like your hand is on fire or stuck in a tight glove. The second, and the one Margaret had, is cubital tunnel syndrome. This one affects the ring and pinky fingers. It happens when the ulnar nerve, which runs through a bony bump on the inside of your elbow, gets trapped. But here is the warning sign that everyone ignores. Do you find yourself sleeping with your elbow bent? Do you tuck your hand under your pillow or curl your arms up like a boxer? That position stretches that nerve like a rubber band. Stretch it for 8 hours a night, 5 years in a row, and that rubber band loses its snap forever. But what happened next to Margaret shocked even her family. She started taping a towel around her elbow at night to keep it straight. A simple, 10-cent solution. And the numbness vanished. However, this is the hidden danger I need you to understand. Just because the numbness stops doesn't mean the cause is gone. For many of you watching, the numbness is not coming from a pinched nerve in your neck or your elbow. It is coming from something far more sinister, hiding in your bloodstream. You see, the nerves in your hands are the longest wires in your body. They are like fiber optic cables running from your spine all the way to your fingertips. They require specific vitamins to keep their insulation coating intact. If you are low on vitamin B12, or if you have a thyroid that is slowing down, those wires start to short circuit. Think about the last time you had a blood test. Did your doctor check your B12 levels? Probably not. Most doctors only check for anemia, but low B12 in seniors is an absolute epidemic. And the worst symptom? Bilateral numbness. That means both hands going numb at the same time. If you wake up and both of your hands feel like they belong to someone else, that is rarely a sleeping position problem. That is a systemic problem. That is your metabolism sending up a distress flare. The emotional toll of this is what breaks my heart. I have seen strong, independent men stop being able to button their own shirts. I have seen grandmothers stop knitting, not because of arthritis pain, but because they simply couldn't feel the needles anymore. They felt isolated. They felt broken. And the scariest part is, they just accepted it as aging. You do not have to accept this. If you are finding value in this information, please do me a small favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We release these wellness breakdowns every week to help you stay out of the hospital and in control of your health. It truly helps us reach more seniors who are silently suffering just like you. Thank you for being here. Now let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 68, and he is a former construction worker. He started noticing his hands going numb while sleeping about 2 years ago. He ignored it. He did the shake and bake method every morning. But recently he started dropping his wallet. He couldn't feel the coins in his pocket. When he came in for an evaluation, I asked him a simple question. Do you sleep with your wrists bent? He said yes. He sleeps curled up in a tight fetal position. We got him a simple pair of wrist braces, the kind that keeps your hand in a neutral straight line. 2 weeks later, Robert was crying in my office. Not from pain, from relief. He had forgotten what it felt like to wake up rested because he had been fighting his own body all night. But here's the myth I need to bust wide open right now. Many alternative health videos will tell you that you just need more magnesium or a special lotion. Listen to me carefully. Magnesium helps muscle cramps. It will not fix a nerve that is physically compressed by bone or ligament. If your numbness is positional, meaning it only happens when your neck is twisted or your elbow is bent, no amount of smoothies will fix that. You need mechanical change. You need to retrain how you sleep. However, if you have tried sleeping with a straight arm, you have tried a wrist brace, and the numbness still wakes you up like an alarm clock at 2 a.m. every single night, that is when you move from physical therapy to a conversation with a neurologist. That is the red flag waving in the dark. I want you to run a small test tonight. Before you go to sleep, hold your hands up in front of your face. Open and close them 10 times. Do they feel slow? Sticky? Does it feel like there is sand in the joints? Now touch your thumb to your pinky finger. Can you make the full O shape? If you cannot, or if the movement feels weak, you are looking at nerve denervation. That means the signal from your brain is getting blocked. Think of it like static on a radio station. You can still hear the music, but it is fuzzy. Over time, if you don't fix the antenna, the static becomes silence. And silence in your hands means paralysis of the small muscles. Once those muscles go, you cannot get them back. That is the urgency I am trying to convey to you today. Do not wait for the dropping of a glass to become the dropping of a grandchild. I have seen patients so afraid of surgery that they waited 5 years too long. By the time they agreed to the minor 15-minute procedure to release the nerve, the surgeon opened them up and found the nerve was flattened like a piece of ribbon. There was no bounce back. Their hands stayed numb forever. That is the hidden tragedy of the wait-and-see approach. We have been taught that pain is weakness leaving the body, but in senior health, numbness is danger arriving at your doorstep. So, what do you do tomorrow morning? First, change your pillow. Side sleepers, you need a higher pillow to keep your neck straight. If your neck kinks, you compress the nerves in your spine. Second, look at your chair. Do your elbows rest on hard armrests while you watch television? That constant pressure on the funny bone spot is crushing your ulnar nerve hour after hour. Put a soft towel there today. Third, and this is the emotional one, give yourself grace. You are not broken because your hands tingle. You are not old. You are just a machine that needs a tiny alignment. Your body has been trying to talk to you for months, maybe years. Tonight, you finally listened. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a sense of hope. Margaret is back in her garden. Robert is playing cards with his buddies again. Their hands didn't heal by magic. They healed because they stopped ignoring the whisper before it became a scream. You have the power to do that right now. Do not go to bed tonight without checking your sleeping position. Do not wait for the numbness to get worse because it will. Nerves do not heal like skin. They heal slowly. 1 millimeter a day, if they heal at all. Protect the nerve you have today, because tomorrow might be too late. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Have you ever woken up with a dead hand? Did you ignore it, or did you find a trick that works? Scroll down to the comments section and share your experience. You might help someone who is suffering in silence right now, too afraid to ask for help. And if you know a friend or a spouse who constantly complains about dropping things, share this video with them. It might be the nudge they need to finally see a doctor. This is Dr. Silas Redford, reminding you that the smallest symptom is often the loudest alarm. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.